Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo, Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
It's honestly a little hard for me to concentrate on the news right now because you just showed me the Superman trailer, and obviously that's on my mind heavy. But we're going to talk about the news. Maybe we'll circle back and give a brief opinion on it, but we're going to go to the news first for Star Wars, because that's what this channel is known for.
Star Wars news, not Superman news?
So, we do have some insider information here that Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is possibly shelved. Gone.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, and that Rogue Squadron is moving into active development.
Again, you mean? Because it used to be in development, right? And then
for the sixth time.
Feels like it. I mean, that got announced. I mean, both those movies got announced at the same time. That was at that big shareholder
2020, the investment broadcast.
Whatever it was, yeah. They live streamed it and everything.
Yeah, so this is coming from Daniel Richtman. He is actually a big insider for Star Wars information, so I believe that while we always take rumors with a grain of salt, I believe in this one a little strongly.
It makes sense that Taika Waititi. It's just not happening. How long are we going to sit here and pretend it is? I mean, it's been 4 years.
I mean, he still pretends it is sometimes, I think.
He gets at. I mean, it's the Rian Johnson thing. Mm-hmm. He's still that's now 7 years ago.
Until it officially gets the "you're done,"
and it never will. They're never going to come out and say we're not making that Rian Johnson trilogy. I mean, they may eventually say, you know what? It's been like 2 decades. Yeah,
maybe they're just waiting for like a contract to lapse.
That's what I think it is. I think something was signed, and as long as neither side is responsible for not making it in a manner of speaking, then it kind of just defaults eventually. I mean, I don't know how these contracts work. That would be my guess.
No idea.
So as long as Johnson doesn't say it's not happening, and as long as Disney doesn't say we're canceling it, neither side is at fault.
I mean, no title, no story details are ever disclosed.
Just because he never did anything with it. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. He may have sat down at one point and like, I'm going to write some notes, but he never wrote the damn thing.
Well, in 2023, Taika Waititi said, I've been developing the Star Wars film for a few years, but I think with any film, but that one in particular, it's something I'd really like to get right, so I don't want to rush it. It's going to bubble along on the side. But it's not bubbling along on the side. He's just never going to get to it.
No.
And I don't think, honestly, after the performance of Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't think they actually want him to do it anymore.
I mean, it's weird that they wanted him to do it in the first place, because he kind of got really big from
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok
and
not
Jojo
the first
Rabbit.
Thor, but the first weird Thor movie.
Mm-hmm. And I thought Ragnarok was enjoyable.
It's a good, funny movie. I don't know that it's a good Thor movie. That's what I always say.
Yeah. And then Thor: Love and Thunder took it too far to the point where it was just corny, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
It was a bad movie, yeah.
Done with this. Yeah, so I just don't think it is coming, and I think that's kind of the right call.
No, I absolutely think it's right, especially with all these other movies that are supposedly in the pipeline. We now have the Kinberg trilogy. We have other movies that are still in production. If Patty Jenkins is doing Rogue Squadron, I mean, we still have this long list of movies that might come.
I'd be really good with seeing Rogue Squadron. I think she's actually got a lot of passion towards Rogue Squadron.
Well, I mean, sure, passion doesn't always equate to good, but...
Well, I know that we got the rumors that it was canceled because of the fact that she was going to be involved in Wonder Woman 3, and that was going to take up a lot of her time.
Yeah.
And then James Gunn came in there and overhauled the DC universe.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman 3 is gone.
Wasn't she doing a Cleopatra movie too, or something like that?
I think I heard that, and I don't know whatever happened to that.
Did she just get like all her movies like pulled out from under her?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, Wonder Woman 1984 is a reason to maybe pull some movies from her, but...
Back in like March, she left Star Wars kind of to do Wonder Woman 3 and thought, I'll come back to Star Wars afterwards. And now she's like, okay, Lucasfilm, we got to finish this. They want to finish this deal to see what's going on. She really, like I said, she has passion to this project because of the fact her father lost his life in service to the United States. He was a pilot. He was in the Air Force. She always said she wanted to turn that tragedy into making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time. That was something she wanted. It makes sense. I mean, even remember Chris Pine, he wanted him in the plane, in the cockpit. I think she has a passion for this.
Sure,
in Wonder Woman, he was a fighter pilot. Yeah. That's what she wants to do. So a movie like Rogue Squadron kind of taking Top Gun in space.
Yeah, that's exactly what I envision, yeah.
I mean,
I think it'll take more from that than it would from the actual Rogue Squadron books and comics, but we'll see.
I mean, there was like a log line for Rogue Squadron at one time. It said, Rogue Squadron will introduce a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings and risk their lives in a boundary-pushing, high-speed thrill ride and move the saga into the future era of the galaxy.
Yeah, a lot of people were wondering what exactly that meant. Does that mean
Yeah.
like sequel trilogy era or what?
Exactly. Or what?
Or what,
Nobody
yeah.
knows. But like it does sound kind of like Top Gun.
No, it's just like Top Gun. I mean, that's...
Top Gun in space. Oh, can they play Danger Zone?
Hey.
No. Star Wars Danger Zone. Play it in Huttese and you'll be fine.
Oh my goodness.
What? They've never done that. No, Major Tom.
Yeah.
Dang.
We can do it again.
Do it again.
If
I would
as
enjoy
long as
it.
it's Danger Zone, yeah.
But I would want... It might just be me being a dreamer myself in a way. Me being a believer and wanting the others to fulfill their hopes, I guess. This sounds a little sappy, but I want her to be able to make an homage to her father this way.
Sure.
If she truly has this passion for it, like she sounds like she does in interviews when she talks about it, this could result in something really good. I mean, would you want to put something out there and say, this is the homage to my dad and have everybody hate it?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So I want this to be great. I want it to be great for her sake as well as the fandom.
Well, Star Wars needs some great...
Skeleton Crew is chugging along
It's been
as
few and
something.
far between with great. Yeah, it's good. It's still good. I mean,
yeah.
like I said, we didn't... I don't think either one of us loved the previous episode 4, but it's still fine. I'm not going to, like, condemn the show because one episode wasn't, like, fantastic.
I think after Acolyte, Disney kind of opened their eyes. I think they've been seeing this coming, that they have to go after the smart story, the good story, make what people want to see. Not what you think they should see or what you think they want to see, but what they really want.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the passion that hopefully Patty Jenkins has and then makes it. And there was, at the Video Game Awards, and I'm not an expert, but the guy behind Baldur's Gate 3 had one of the best speeches I've ever seen. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff. But he talked about what you want to do is make great games for the actual customers made by developers who want to make those games. I mean, that was the crux of his little speech.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I think entertainment in general needs to remember that you need passionate people making things for passionate people who want these things. We've kind of lost that somewhere along the way.
I can see why his game has done so well.
Yeah.
Because it does exactly what it promises. It makes a game that people want to play, made by people who
wanted to make it and want to play it themselves. Yeah, you need developers who want to make games that they want to play, like, and are passionate about playing them. And I think that goes for movies,
it's
too.
It's like being a dungeon master for D&D. When you're making something, you want the players to enjoy it, so you make something that they're going to enjoy, and you're enjoying it at the same time.
Yeah, it's rewarding to be a dungeon master, yeah.
Well, let's touch on the advent calendar next, because we fell behind again, and I don't know what happened. So,
I think we have a U-Wing first,
right? Yeah, there's a little U-Wing.
Yep.
Followed by
Yoda's
Starfighter.
Jedi Starfighter, pretty sure.
Yep. It was hard to tell.
None of them are accurate representations.
But this last one, I understand. It is a Praetorian.
Yes. And
that
I think
one looks like a Praetorian. He's got a little zappy staff.
Yeah, it looks like a Mando Praetorian, too.
I don't care. I just know it's a Praetorian, and that's enough. I can tell what this is.
Yeah.
Hooray for me.
Yes, the last one was the clearest of them all.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to talk about...
Sure, we can briefly touch on that.
I'm concerned about the Superman trailer.
Wow. Okay. Why?
It felt a little too James Gunn, a little too Guardians of the Galaxy, a little too Suicide Squad. Because for a movie titled Superman, there was a lot of stuff in there that wasn't Superman.
That was the part that surprised me. I don't know that we need like Hawkgirl.
Everything aside from that looked interesting, but I thought, okay, Superman, Lex Luthor, or one other big villain. Instead, I was like, there's a lot. And if you're relaunching a franchise, maybe take your time and set up the characters properly.
I kind of figured
you can't go straight to Avengers. Or in this case,
I don't think they're going straight there, but I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree. I would have, having not seen the movie, obviously, but I would prefer, like, Superman. Just start with Superman. We don't need anything else, any other of his friends, his super friends,
when
you
I
might
saw
say.
Krypto right at the beginning, I was like, oh no.
Krypto's fine.
I know, but is he just trying to skip the origin movie and go straight into the here it is?
Why not at this point? Does anybody not know the origin? It's like Batman. Do we need another Batman Begins, another origin story for Batman? Exactly.
The Batman went straight into being the Batman.
Exactly.
But it did work well because it was dark and gritty and felt very Batman and comic booky and detective-y. Whereas this
Detective
gave me pause because I want Superman to be done right and taken seriously and not turned into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I don't want to be Guardians of the Galaxy, but a case can be made that he should be a little more fun. not fun. Maybe
Not
that again,
fun.
not,
Well,
not the right word,
I
but a
get what
little
you're saying.
more
He's supposed to
light.
be uplifting.
There it is, uplifting.
That's what Superman is. He is a symbol of hope. That's
I mean,
what it says on his chest, right?
Yeah, I fell in love with the Christopher Reeve Superman. I saw that when I was
Yes.
very young. I mean, I was like born about that time, and I remember just loving the first two Superman movies, especially Superman 2. I've always loved that movie. So
I mean, I enjoyed those as well, but my real love of Superman came from watching the Superman animated
sure,
show.
we all have our
cartoon.
introduction to him. Yeah,
Well, because that's the age when I was, I used to watch the Batman animated show,
you
and then they
watched
had
the
here's the
DC
Superman
cartoon universe, yeah.
animation, and then there's the Justice League, and that was my huge introduction to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
More so than the Christopher Reeve Superman, who
Yeah.
I do immensely respect. Oh, and Superman and Lois with Dean Cain.
Yeah, we watched that not long ago, a lot of it, and
yeah.
I want to watch the new the
We have
CW
to-
series.
yes.
Everybody keeps telling me to
I
watch
think it's
it.
like done, but now we're finally like,
Yeah,
maybe
I
we'll
had like
watch
the
it.
ending spoiled for me because like
Wow,
just
I
random in my feed on YouTube, like, hey, this happened in the last episode of Superman.
So
Like, and
glad
Lois,
that's
thank
not
you.
in my feed.
No, yeah, well,
But I'm just concerned because I want this character to be treated the way I believe he should be treated, with
Sure.
some sort of reverence, and to
I think James
give him
Gunn
enough time. James Gunn
wants to treat him the same. Here's the problem, and you already pointed it out. Everybody has their own version of Superman, their own version of Star Wars, their own version of Batman,
Yeah.
Spider. Fill in the blank of any popular iconic character or franchise, and people have what they want, and if it's not that, it doesn't feel like it's right.
Right. I mean, even Spider-Man. We've gotten 3 different live-action on-screen Spider-Mans.
All
Which one
varying
was your
degrees
favorite? Yeah.
of different, yeah.
Do you like Garfield? Are you more of a Sam Raimi kind of guy, or
Yeah. Or do you
Tom
like Tom
Holland?
Holland?
Or
Yeah.
you like that old school Spider-Man cartoon show, Once Upon a
Where
Time?
they just like turn the camera sideways.
Or are
and
you
have
even
him
an
climb a
Into
wall?
the Spider-Verse Miles Morales
Yeah,
kind
hey.
of person? There's a Spider-Man for everybody.
Yeah.
But on
across the
screen,
Spider-Verse,
Superman,
yeah.
I feel like he's kind of like a straight line across, and he's got his image to uphold, and I'm
No,
concerned. That's
no,
all.
I'm glad you're concerned. I'm glad that people are
I
concerned
want
because
to
it
love
should
it.
be. Superman is probably the most iconic superhero, and he should
Mm-hmm.
be treated with reverence, and we should get a quality Superman movie.
I do like that Clark Kent looked a little more unrecognizable.
Yeah, he like slicks the hair back.
Not
and
like
has
when
the...
Henry Cavill's like,
Well,
let me put my glasses on.
Henry Cavill was too good looking to be Superman. That's just how it is.
Christopher Reeves looked like 2 different people, though. He was.
Well, he was his
good.
posture too. Like
He did everything right.
Yeah, he would always have that kind of hunched over kind
Whereas
of
they
posture.
chose a different
and
direction for Henry Cavill.
he would be Henry Cavill was just Henry Cavill, and he's amazing. I know I'm simping for Henry, so that's where we're
Like I said, I really, really, really want to like this. We'll find out if I like this when it comes out, I suppose.
July 11th or something like that.
Yeah, we got a lot of movies coming up. I still haven't gotten to see Craven.
No,
Boo.
yeah, I don't think we're missing anything.
But it did so bad in the box office, which means I'm gonna love it
No,
for the wrong reasons.
Anyway, that's gonna be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell me what you think of any and all of today's news, and let's talk some Star Wars and some Superman. And until next time, thanks for watching.